If you've heard him speak before, you know he brings it. And if you never heard him speak before, you are in for a treat. And to introduce him, let's check out this video.
Like, there's no feeling in a man's life that is more suffocating than feeling alone. The worst is to be a man of any amount of success, to have a business that's working at some level, to have a marriage that's working at some level, to have a family life that's working at some level, and yet to feel desperately alone. This was my path, and that was when things were going well. What became even more tragic was this sense of alone that continued to pour through me when things started to go south. I was not prepared for the amount of darkness that I would feel in this place of alone, as a producer, as a businessman, as a husband, as a father, when the life that I had built started to fall apart. See, I had driven my life by a story about what I wanted the world to believe about me. A story that my parents had given to me, the church I was raised in had given to me. A story that society had told me as a man that I should be. And yet that story had become nothing more than a box into which I had stepped and began to build my life inside of this prison that held me captive and kept me all alone. I was told that it wasn't okay to have feelings as a man, that if you had feelings you were a pussy and you shouldn't talk about them if you're a man. And even being raised inside of a society of other men, from athletics to powerful business moves, there were never groups of men that you could be around to actually tell the truth. And so I pretended that I didn't have feelings, that I didn't hurt, that I didn't feel alone, that I didn't feel depressed. He's got it figured out. He's a businessman. Look at his cars, look at his house, look at his family, look at his plan. Like, he's got his shit figured out. And so I let you continue to believe that, just like most other men do. And every day that truth continued to be told by those outside of me because of the story that I was committed to sharing with you, the more alone and the more I began to die. On top of this, I was given instructions by a society that told me that me as a man, my responsibility really only came down to one thing: go fucking make the money. And so we live in a society where women and men and culture has taught men like you and I that our value comes down to how much cash we can bring home. That if we bring home the money, then everything else will happen fine. That a married man's life will simply work out if he can just pay the bills and then provide more to create the abundance that his family desires and stores. But what happens when you do those things and yet you still feel alone? What happens when you're in a relationship with your wife and yet you feel hundreds of miles away and not understood at all about the pressures that you face every single day? And so you lie. You lie about what you're feeling. You lie that you don't feel like a fucking ATM machine. And God forbid you get divorced and then become single, and now you live in a society where men are driven by pussy and women are constantly driven by getting paid. And then we have this twisted game going on with Tinder, then Bumble and social media that tells fucking men from the time they're young that if you get paid, then everything else will work itself out. Get paid, get laid. It seemed to be the only stories that make sense. They seem to be the stories that men have told themselves. They seem to be the stories that men have come to believe about themselves. Men who no longer feel that it's okay. Who am I? Am I a slave or a king? Am I supposed to stand up and tell you the truth of my game? Should I take a stand and lead this fucking family? Or am I supposed to hand back, throw you the keys and let you drive me while I sit in shotgun? It's confusing today to be a man. It's painful. It's painful to be alone. It's painful to feel isolated. It's painful to know that no matter how connected I get on my phone, no matter how many followers on Instagram, no matter how many people listen to me on Facebook, no matter how many people listen to my podcast, no matter how many clients, no matter how much success, no matter how much my app on my phone with Chase Bank tells me the money I have, at the end of the day, I'm left isolated and alone. My feelings do not matter. I'm a fucking ATM machine, they tell me. And on the third piece of this, I'm not even needed anymore. Most women today don't even feel like they need a man in their life. And so men have begun to feel this sense of isolation. That's why they're not fucking getting married. Why would a man get married if he can go on Tinder and get laid and just step back and go get paid? And for married men who start to see that they think that is the way, but this marriage doesn't work for me anymore. It doesn't work for me anymore because I can't keep dying all alone with you pretending like I don't have feelings. I can't keep dying all alone and pretending that I'm not fucking hurting. I can't keep dying all alone where I've been taught as a young man from the time I've grown up to shut the fuck up and just be okay with what a definition of being a man is. And so we sit in this modern age with no guides, no instructions. More isolated men than ever before, men like you and me. And we're just asking ourselves a question. How do I set myself free? You think that this is the only thing, you are the one having that feeling until you recognize that there are millions of men just like you feeling the same thing. But nobody's talking. But I'm talking. And thousands of men with me are talking. And we're inviting you to start talking. To start speaking the truth inside of your life. To stop fucking lying about what you feel. To stop fucking lying about what you want. To stop fucking lying about the desires of your heart. To stop fucking lying about what it would take for you to start to live a life that actually mattered. And to live from body, being, balance, and business, the core four, wrapped up into the most comprehensive game of what it is to be a man, to have the sex and the intimacy and marriage that you desire, to have the body fit and weaponized on fire, to have the purpose inside of being and spirituality calling you forward, to have family relationships with children that you adore, and to have a business that fucking poof, grows 3, 4, 5 times and more every year. But the biggest message is that you're never alone.
I'm leaving, and I'm taking the kids. I need you to be the man. I didn't sign up for this.
You don't fucking know me, woman! You don't know what the fuck I'm going through! Fuck you! Fuck all of you! You fucking think you know what goes on in me! You think you know the fucking pressure I face! You think you know the pain that I don't tell you about! Fuck you! Fuck you. Shit. What have I fucking done? What have I done? Oh, shit. What have I done? Oh, shit. I don't know how to get out of this. God, please. Please help me. So it started. Little by little. Little by little, I started to see there was something else inside of me. Something that nobody else, except for he, could see. So it started to come off, little by little. The lies. The stories that I wanted you to believe. The stories that I wanted my wife to believe. The lies about what I felt. The lies about where I'd been. The lies about where I was. And the lies about where I wanted to go. I was searching for something. I just didn't know what it was. And then amidst that search, there came a voice. And that voice spoke to me. It sang to me. And it sounded like this. And inside of that dark, I started to find the light. Until finally, I had the courage to show you. Follow me. My wife fell in love with me. My family was restored. My business has exploded. My family life expanded. My son from my first marriage, who had not talked to me for 16 years, became my friend and chose me. My life became something that mattered, but it required me to let go. You want to build big things. You've been trained for days, given the tools, given the access, given the resources. But the one thing that Russell or I or no one can give you is a commitment to you. There was a vision that was placed in my heart, a vision that began years ago, a vision that nobody believed in the beginning except for me. I was crazy enough to think that this voice that I heard was calling me. People ask me, were you called? I was like, I don't know, but I sure feel like I am. And so I'm gonna choose it. And even if it's all fucking made up, I'm still gonna choose it because my life is working again. My wife used that phrase over and over again. Why can't you just be the man? What I didn't understand was it wasn't a form of how I showed up sexually. It wasn't how I showed up in conversation. It was a commitment to be the truth of who I am. The piece that she saw in me when we had first met, but I had forgotten, I had let go of, I was afraid of, I was embarrassed by. And so people say, how did you get the ring? How did you hit the $10 million rank? I'll tell you how. I started with one simple game that was simple. Tell the fucking truth. You don't have to be Russell. You will lose at that game. You don't have to be me. You will lose at that game. But there is one game that you cannot lose in. There is one game, and all of you have been called. All of you have been called. A calling is not bestowed upon a man or woman because you were lucky, because of the color of your skin, because of the language that you speak, because of the country that you were born in, or because you're here in this room. The calling comes because you were called when you were born. And into that place comes the sacred choice. The choice is simple. You've been called, but will you choose it? And will you choose it not once in a room where everybody applauds you? Will you choose it when people persecute you? Will you choose it when they say, fuck you? Will you choose it when they talk shit on your ads? Because they're all out there. The people who are afraid of being themselves. And so they persecute you when you do you. They persecute you when they say, fuck you for doing you. Fuck you because when you do you, you make me exposed. You expose me for the fraud that I am. You expose me for the game that I am not, which is being me. I wanted power. That was my problem. And this game of finding power is quite simple. It's not complicated. I thought it was. And it's not miraculous. My funnels work because I work. $0 to $100 million in 4 years. You think that shit was luck? Not at all. ClickFunnels works because Russell and Todd and Dave and the entire team fucking work. And what's more is they work on not just a business, they work on their lives. So power became the game. Power is the capacity to do shit. The only difference between one man and another, one woman and another, is capacity. I put this weight up here on the floor. We put 300 pounds on a bar. I bring you all up one by one. You get down up in it and you deadlift it up. There are some of you that can do it. Some very easily. Some of you cannot even pick up the bar. The weight doesn't change. So when somebody's repping the shit out of it, it's because they have greater capacity than the man who cannot pick the bar up. Capacity is power. Without capacity, all of your shit will fail. And power and capacity must be chosen every single fucking day. What you did yesterday is great. But today, you gotta choose. Todd has to wake up every day and choose, because the shit show, you see the show, but you don't see the dark side of creation. The pain and the nights that you wanna quit. Production. Doing shit. If power is your capacity to do shit, then production is doing shit. There is no one in the game of marketing and sales who has created a more paint by number fucking picture for marketing and built a goddamn software to back you up than Russell and Todd. Clap that shit up. How do I know? Because I'm an idiot. And my shit works, and I click and I drag, and I click and drag, and I click in the wheel, and the thing opens up, and I type shit. And they keep making it easier because somehow I keep fucking up that part. They Garret test everything on me, and then if it works, I'm like, fuck, all right, everybody else will get it. Third piece, profit. This is your result. This is the rings and the trophies, which are fantastic. I love the ring, I'm not gonna lie. I really like it. It's shiny. I was looking at it last night. It's like, you're cute. I like that. And I know it's gonna bring up a lot of conversations. And people say, what's the magic behind the secret game that you're playing? Well, here is what it is. Every day I wake up and I access power. More of it. And every day I wake up and I do shit. And then this weird thing happens. Profit shows up. Like you get results. It's weird. Sitting and meditating on your next funnel is not nearly as effective as building and launching your next fucking funnel. Please bring the people. Nope, you just have to fucking advertise. It's that easy. God didn't even make it complicated. He's just like, just join the program of Russell. He'll teach you the rest. And then all you got to do is wake up every day, stay in power, keep expanding your capacity, keep doing shit. And then, well, the fruit just shows up. If you just keep doing it over and over again. So my life was completely broken. My answer, I thought, was business. I was like, if I could just get money again, then I could turn my life and my marriage around. That was my story. So I started to look, I'm like, how can I do this? I had built a bunch of businesses. I had lost all those businesses. I was in the hole. My wife was leaving me. Taking my children. This would have been divorce number 2. Divorce number 2. Like I was racking them up. And I was fucking it up because I was not getting the game, which was I have to choose power every day. But I thought the answer was to go make more money. So I started there. And God was like, okay, you want to start there? Fine. We'll just use whatever you're giving us. we'll go after business. And I stepped back and said, all right, well, what is it that makes my business work? So like a funnel hacker, before I knew that was a thing, I started reverse engineering my production. I started the result of money, and I went backwards. I said, okay, if money, profit is the result, and okay, then there's a bunch of shit I gotta do, and then there's this desire to do the shit, which is over here. And I'm gonna have this desire, then I'm gonna do some shit, then over here, I'm gonna have some shit. I was like, okay, I'm not as smart, but this makes sense. I've just connected the dots. And I realized that there were some things that I did that supported this and things I did that didn't support it. So I started noticing these three things. That my body either accelerated my production or it decelerated my production. So if you wake up and you're tired, sick, body's not working for you, shutting you down, maybe the last time you worked out was like 3 years ago, you don't activate your body. I was out running around the Disney World, run around, alarm goes off on my phone, I drop down, hop back up, I'm running. Then I'm like doing air squats in the crosswalk. People are looking at me driving into work. What the fuck is going on here? Because I realized my body supports my production, but I had stopped working out. In my deepest pain and in your deepest pain, we stopped doing the things that put us in power. Next, I started realizing that my spirituality was going to shit. Fuck God, fuck praying, fuck meditating. I am God. Which was great because I was doing a great job of being God. I only had one person to rule over, which was me, and I was fucking that up. So I was like, man, there were times when I was spiritually on fire. I felt just this power that seemed to come from outside of me and through me. It would just guide my actions. I was like, how do I even know to do this? And these moments of just being in flow that came from some divine thing that was you're like, oh shit, okay. And you kind of want to take credit. You're kind of oh, yeah, that was me. But inside you're like, I don't know what the fuck that was because that was not me, but that was awesome. Third piece, balance. Here's what I know for sure. When my wife and I wake up in the morning and we fight, and then I try to go do work and be in business, I've noticed this weird thing happen. I suck. How many of you have noticed you fight with your spouse before you try to go out and hustle, it doesn't work so well? Raise your hand. So I started all these habits and patterns, and I started looking at this as the 3 B's, body, being, and balance, that supported my business. And the more I started looking at this, the more I started realizing, okay, I'm not sure exactly what to do to take myself out of the game and put myself back into the game of production and making money. But what I do know is I am drastically hurting my chances of being successful by waking up every day, not working out, not meditating, not praying, not connecting with my wife, not connecting with my children, doing the exact opposite of those 3 things, and then hoping inside of that delusional caffeinated state that I was going to build some shit. I'm ready. Here's the piece you don't know about your funnel. When my video hits you and my funnels, you get sucked in. There are a lot of you in here who became part of Warrior because you were like, I'm gonna go funnel hack this shit. And then you came into the funnel and you were like, fucking hell, what time is it? Oh shit, I've been watching these for 3 hours. Here's why. My marketing is wrapped with an energy. There's what you're hearing me say, but then there's what you're feeling me say. And what you're feeling me say is coming from a voice that is not mine. My job is to get up in your face and kick you in the balls. And you're like, oh! And then inside you're like, this voice, oh, you're like, what the fuck? I know, I'm a divine ball crusher. That's what I do. Pop! Wake the fuck up. Okay, I'll do what Russell said. Yeah, you should clap that up. Okay,
So amidst all this in my journal, I created a game. And I'd like to share that game with you for the first time publicly since 2013, when I did it with a small group of about 12 to 15 people. I think it was about 35 people. Some of you people were here. Jim was here. Raul, a couple other people were here. And that was actually quite an important moment for you two. That event was the first time I'd ever shared this Core 4 game in public. Up till that point, then the last 5 years, all I've been doing is sharing it inside of the Warrior Brotherhood. I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to share with you what I do every morning. I'm going to share with you a game. It's not steps to being successful. It's not the 17 steps to success. No, it's a game, it's a science, and it will put you in power. Because what will happen? You can be more skilled than me. You can know more shit than me. You can be fucking 10 times smart. You have 5 degrees. You could be like certified 19 times by ClickFunnels, and I will still fuck you up. Even though I still don't know how to do a lot of this shit, because I just keep working on the same simple shit that we started with 3.5 years ago. Then Russell and Todd do some cool shit, and I'm like, whoa, that is way too advanced for us. We're still not that good. So we're just gonna take that one piece, slide it over, and then we're gonna stabilize the empire, and then we're gonna work on that shit. While the rest of you are trying to build 19 funnels, you read the whole fucking cookbook, and then you try to deploy every funnel in 24 hours. Like, I'm gonna cook me up 27 funnels right now. I'm like, the fuck are you selling? I don't know. I'm just going to do all of them. So this game then of clarity on what to focus on in Two Comma Club, on what to focus on building and sharing your message, comes down to daily power. Because the power is going to put your mind in a good place. It's going to put your heart connected to a place that matters. So I play a game. I track it in software every single day. And tens of thousands of men and women around the world play this same game. So I'm going to teach you the game, and then from the game, we're going to learn through it as we go through it for the next 30 minutes, and then hopefully you'll take this home, and you'll use it. You'll use it, because it works. I laugh when I watch Russell and Todd up here sharing with you guys sometimes in presentation, because everything in their world is just trying to be like, please, just like do the simple shit. Like, all producers know it too, because they get to a place where complexity doesn't work, so they come back to simplicity and they blow the fuck up. And then they try to tell everybody who's trying to be fancy pants, dude, just slow down. Do simple shit over and over and over again. Find one funnel, one offer, and maximize the shit out of it. And you study everything that they share with you. And you test and you deploy. But when you fail, which you will, you have to have the power and the certainty in you to start over again. You can't default into the day. If you default into the day and hope that today will be the day you're in power. That was my strategy for years. Here's what I'll do. I hope I wake up in power today so I can build my funnel. And this is what I watch a lot of small entrepreneurs doing all the time. They're hoping that their lucky underwear, hoping that the fancy bra, hoping that the tennis shoes they wear, because it was lucky yesterday, if I just wear the same shoes, same underwear today, then I'll probably be in power to go. But then shit happens, like your kids don't want to get up. You get an email you weren't expecting. A troll shows up on your ads and talks shit. You're a fucking idiot. Yeah. And it's like always a picture like of a fucking cat. It's the same fucking guy. He's got a whole tribe of assholes that just walk around and type shit. But the problem is, if you're not in power, you get the message from the cat man, and you're like, oh God. Oh my God. This is how it is? It wasn't like this in Funnel Hacking Live. Everyone was nice to me. No, here's a clue. Most people don't fucking like you. But the biggest problem is if you're one of them. If you don't like you, you're totally fucked. Because most of the world already doesn't like you. Most people, hard to believe, do not like me. I say shit they don't like to hear. Boom, in the balls. And they're like, oh, fuck you. I'm like, no, fuck you. And they're like, ah, thank you. I'm like, you're welcome. So this game itself is about putting yourself in power predictably and sustainably every single day. 4 areas: body, being, balance, business. Let's jump into the first one, the game of body. Body has an interesting component to it, which is fitness. How many of you right now, don't fucking lie, stand up if you worked out this morning before you came in the room? Stand up if you worked out. Hold up, don't applaud that shit. We got like 10% of the fucking room. Look around. Some of you are like, well, I sat down and took a shit. Was that an air squat? No. Doesn't count. If that was you, you sit down. Oh, like 10 of you were sitting down. You assholes, you did the, no, I don't believe it. You just thought I was giving you the instructions. All right, go ahead and sit down. So fitness, I don't care what you do. Every morning you got to get up and got to do something to get your heart rate going and you sweat. Do I care if you have a six-pack? Nope. Do I care if you're on the new ketone, G-tone, Jedi Knight diet? Nope. Don't fucking care. If that works for you, do it. Fitness is about one thing. Get up and move. Not like this. So excited to go build a funnel and take my message to the world. Pretty sure this one's gonna work. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna watch the perfect webinar presentation for the 75th time and not launch a webinar. Or you could just wake up and move. People are like, well, what should my fitness routine be? Move. Well, where should I move? Don't give a fuck, just fucking move. Get out of your house and walk. Go, run, lift, pick up heavy shit, surf, don't care. If you move in the morning, it's really simple, you get half a point. That's it. You're like, oh, okay, I moved. Half a point. My move the last year has been 1 hour surfing every morning. I love it. It replaced all my workout routines. I go out, I get in the water, I paddle, I catch some waves, I have a blast. I love it. The salt's up on my face, salt's in my beard, salt's in my nose, it's dripping out of my nose all day long. It's awesome. Awesome. And that's my half a point. I wake up, I hit my fitness. Next piece. Fuel. Fuel's an interesting game. Because there's so much diet stuff out there, I've literally started studying about a couple years ago. I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if I could become a ninja at this whole diet thing. I started reading for one day. Like a bunch of shit, I was like, yeah, nope, not gonna be that guy. Too much detail, too much like contradiction, too much stuff. And there's so much about it. If that's you, great, be that person. For me, I need to simplify it down. So a few years back, I had this gal who I was helping create some videos. Her name was Liz Falp, and she was talking about green smoothies. I was like, green smoothies? What are you talking about? But I was shooting the videos the whole time. I used to be the guy behind the camera. So I'm shooting the videos, and she's talking about green smoothies. I'm like, green smoothies, this is ridiculous. What the hell could a green smoothie possibly do for me? So I'm watching the videos, I'm editing, and she's talking about how the green smoothies actually clean out your system. Happy colon, happy life. I'm like, God, what is this? Like, I don't know if I believe this woman at all, but I'm videoing and I'm editing, so I decided to try. So I asked my mother-in-law for a Vitamix blender. It was $500. I got one woo for the Vitamix. All right. I get the Vitamix blender. For Christmas, $500. I pack a whole bunch of spinach in there. I overdo everything. So they said, do a green smoothie. And her examples was like this big. So I thought I would just do a whole Vitamix blender. So I packed the spinach down in there. I put some berries in there. And I couldn't handle the green at that time. So I took half the orange concentrate. Half. Because the idea of drinking a green smoothie made me want to puke on myself. So I put the orange concentrate in there. Way too much sugar, by the way. But I did to get started. And I filled it up, I blended it up, and I drank it down. For the next 10 days were the most excruciating 10 days of my life. I'm calling Liz up. I'm like, Liz, this is bullshit. I don't feel better. I feel worse. I feel horrible. Like my gut hurts, my stomach hurts. I'm all over the place. This does not make any sense. I'm going to quit this green smoothie thing. She's like, no, you just need to keep doing it. It will change your life. I'm like, oh, God, I don't believe you. She's like, just do it. I was like, okay. So I make it through 2 weeks. And holy shit, literally. Green shit for like a month. I was like, I was getting more spinach and nutrition into my body in like one day than I used to get in about 2 months. Salad, anything green, Red meat, forget the green, no bueno. Like I was like, I don't want anything to do with it. I started doing the green smoothie and I started watching my mind change. I went into the game for about 6 to 8 months doing the green smoothie every morning. And then I had about a 10-day game where I didn't do it, and I started to feel this thing start to happen to me. I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling bloated. What's going on right now? I called Liz up. I'm like, Liz, what's going on? I'm feeling a little bloated. She's like, well, how are your green smoothies going? I was like, well, I haven't actually drank them for about 10 days. She said, that's called shit in your intestines. That's how you used to operate all the time. Exactly. Imagine this. You're trying to be productive. You're trying to create a funnel. You're all pumped. You got, like, your mind's right. You did your fitness, but you're filled with what? Shit. So you're sitting down and you're like, I'm not full of shit, but the universe knows. Oh no, you're literally full of shit right now. You're trying to type, you're trying to do a video. Hey, what's up? I'm sharing my video, but everybody knows you're full of shit because you literally do have lots of shit in you. So the second point of power, which changed the game, and now we have literally tens of thousands of people who drink green smoothies. I get invited to come to fitness conferences and speak on nutrition. I'm like, not your guy. Like, I just do a green smoothie and the end, done. So the entire body quadrant, you get 1 point every day. Super simple, fitness and fuel, fitness and fuel. You got 30 seconds. Turn to the person next to you and explain the body area and how you get points. Let's go. Turn. Turn to somebody and talk. Turn to somebody and talk. All right, super simple. So in body, there are two things. One is fitness, one is fuel. Then we move on to being. Being was the second area. I had to get connected. Your energy around the way you present videos, the energy around the way you train your people, the energy around the way you connect with your clients. Your energy every day has to be managed. But I wanted a really pragmatic way to do that. I wanted to do it in a system and a science that made sense to me. I was like, okay, what am I going to do? All right, well, I broke it down into two things. First thing was meditation. Meditation. Super simple experience for most people, not really. Meditation has a lot of connotations to it. Some people are like, I'm Christian, I can't meditate. Some people are like, oh, I have this, I don't meditate. Oh, I kind of meditate. Well, when I go to sleep, I meditate. I was like, well, I appreciate your 8 hours of meditation. It doesn't count. I have guys who said, well, I set my alarm twice. I set it to get up at 5. Then I have another alarm at 5:15, and I just fall back asleep, and I count that as meditation. Okay, so maybe some of you have been meditating your whole life. Congratulations. Meditation is about connecting to you. Don't care what the process is you use to do it. I worked for 2.5 years with the Ashai monks and trained me and worked with me in my darkest time to try to connect with myself. Like, I was scared of me. I was scared of my wife. I was scared of most people. I would front and pretend like I wasn't. I would front and pretend like I had shit figured out, but the truth was I didn't have things figured out. And now I started to come inside. I started looking inside me for answers. When I get challenged on what moves I should make in business, I go inside. I ask because there's this power inside and around all of us that's actually guiding us if we allow it to. Wake Up Warrior and the rise of Wake Up Warrior was not done because I am elite. It was done because along the way I've been guided. Because this movement was not about me. Consider that all of you have been called to lead something that matters. The challenge is being, though, is that you're not connected enough inside with yourself to actually plug into and listen to the voice that's trying to talk to you. You can't hear it. You got too much shit inside of you. Your body's not moving. It's not weaponized. Your energy across the board is just not consistent. And so the instructions come in like text messages, only you're missing half the message. It's like, here's what I want you to do next. And you're like, okay, I'm listening. But then you get out of power and the next message comes through, but you don't pick it up. And so then you're like, well, shit, what am I supposed to do now? I lost the other part of the message. It's because you're not connecting. So we're going to try something together right now, just to get a feel for this. I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes, sit back in your chair. We're going to do something super simple just to experience a little of this. The simplest form of meditation is just to breathe. There's a lot of people who teach this, a lot of great strategies you can look up. Close your eyes for a second. We're going to practice this just for 30 seconds. You're going to follow my instructions on this. In this place, we're going to breathe. You're going to breathe in through your nose. You're going to hold your breath at the top. When I give the instruction to release, you will blow that air out, but you're not going to just let it out softly. You're just going, all right, here we go. First breath in. Hold. Release. Again. Release. Again. Release. Again. Release. Again. Release. Again. Release. And just feel this. Imagine what might happen if you were in this place when you try to create. Imagine what might happen when you opened up your next funnel. You came into it with this energy. Body was weaponized. Smoothie was drank. Meditation on point. And then you sat down to create. Go ahead and open your eyes. So meditation inside of the core 4 is half a point. If you do it, you get half a point. Super simple. The other piece connected to meditation is memoirs. Now, one of the things I was taught as a kid was journaling. One of the things I didn't do as a kid was journal. It was just one of those things I was taught, but I couldn't see the purpose of it. Because the story everybody told me was I was supposed to journal for my legacy. Problem was, in my teens, I didn't give a fuck about my legacy. My 20s, I didn't give a shit about my legacy. 30s, didn't give a shit about my legacy. Then I turned 40. And all of a sudden, I started what? Caring about my legacy. But prior to that, there was a whole lot of power that I was missing out. Because inside that stillness, God's speaking to you. Telling you what to do, giving you instructions, considering possibilities that you're not willing to hear because you're full of shit, your body's not weaponized, and your mind's not connected through meditation. And so you hope that things work out, but you don't even try to take out an old school journal and draw. I guarantee you, I come to Russell and Todd's house, I got journals, fucking pictures and all kinds of stuff. And I go back over time and the whole empire was in journals from like 8 years ago. The Vision for Warrior was born in 2009 in a journal with a picture and a series of drawings. And I kept feeling this weird shit just coming, and I would draw and draw and draw and draw funnels and funnels and funnels and sequences and all these things. But what I wasn't getting out was my revelations. The most important scripture you will ever read in your entire life is a personal revelation that you've gotten directly from the voice inside of you. I appreciate the dead people died and left their scriptures for you, which is their revelations based on their living experience. But here's the thing I'm going to have you consider. Maybe God's trying to talk to you right now. But you're stuck trying to worry about what people said 2,000 years ago instead of listening to the updated version for you when? Now. They can inspire you to see today. They can share stories and you can read from their journals and their memoirs. But if you're looking at their memoirs while discrediting yours, if you don't give yourself permission to feel that truth inside of you every day, there is nothing and no one that can save you. Here's the crazy shit. You guys know what you need to do. It's not complicated. It's not like there's some big mysterious thing that you're supposed to do that you don't know what it is. You might drink so that you don't have to think about the thing you know you got to do. You might smoke it out a little bit so you don't have to think about the thing you got to do. You might do everything like get 15 fucking logos before you launch your goddamn funnel. What do you think about this logo? Hey, funnel hacker community. What do you guys think about my logo? Fuck you, launch a funnel. And y'all wouldn't be clapping if you didn't know it was true. So this game of writing down your revelation, I'm going to give you 30 seconds right now. The voice is speaking to you inside. You can call it God. You can call it whatever you want to call it. There is a voice that's come to you this week, and it's told you things. It's asked you to do things. It's had you consider doing and stopping of doing of things. I'm going to give you 30 seconds right now. Write that down in your journal. Let's go. Write it down. Write it down. 30 seconds. Do not use this as a time to go to Facebook or Instagram. If I see you do that, I'll break your fucking phone. You ADD motherfuckers. You need to meditate. Write it down because you're going to share it with somebody in a second. There's a thing. It's been pinging your heart. It's been pinging your heart, a thing you need to do. There's a thing you're not doing that you need to do. What is it? There's a thing that you need to start doing that you didn't even know you need to start doing. What is it? There's a thing that God's speaking into your life and your heart, and you know it's there, and it might be even more clear than it's ever been before. Now I'm going to have you do the part with revelation that's super interesting, which is the willingness to share it. I want you to turn to somebody next to you. Turn to somebody real quick next to you, and I want you to share. What is that thing you know you got to do? Off you go. Let's go. Share it up, share it up, share it up. So being 1 point. So at this point, I've weaponized my body. I drank the green smoothie. I meditated. And I wrote some revelation down. I'm at 2 points right now. I got 2 more to go. Next point is crucial, balance. Now, my wife and I were in a very rough place, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Like, we were in a rough place. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you got your relationship all on lockdown and things are great and you guys are all in it and everybody's happy and never have any issues, but we had a shitload of issues. Biggest issue was me. Second biggest issue was her. So you can imagine there were a lot of fucking issues because we both were a problem. So I was like, my wife won't really talk to me. And I noticed one day that in this phase where we weren't having sex, we weren't hugging, we weren't kissing, we were like on opposite sides of the bed. We'd try to like squeeze just on the very edge of the bed, leave a few pillows in the middle, maybe even like drape the left leg off the side of the bed, being like, don't fucking come in my zone. This is my zone. And we were not in a good place, but I woke up and his voice like, you got to start making deposits. You expect all these withdrawals from your wife. You expect sex, you expect connection, you expect communication, you expect understanding, but you don't make deposits for shit. You don't show up. And she won't really talk to you, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to send her a message every day. And in that message, you're going to use honor, love, and appreciation as the 3 key words, and you're going to express something that you love, honor, and appreciate about something she did the day before. And so I got all up in the text, the first one. It took me like 45 minutes. I was like, I honor, fuck you. Whoops. That's not it. Sorry, wrong one. Delete. Shit, I sent it. Recall. Damn you, iPhone. So I started writing these messages every morning to my wife. She didn't respond to any of my messages for 7 weeks. Like there was no read receipt or nothing. So I would send it and I'd be like, Nothing. 7 weeks. My almost 19-year-old son, I sent him messages inside of the game of balance every single day. This is a son I did not raise. Grew up in a different country. A whole lot of people told him stories about who I was, about who I wasn't. And inside of that place, I had to start chipping away. And when he was 16, I made a decision. I was like, I'm going to start messaging this kid every day. And I would write long-ass messages. And I would send them to him. And there was what? The same response I got from my wife. No response. No response. No response. No response. And then I realized that the balance deposit game was not about them. It was about me. I felt connected. The guilt, the shame that I felt as a father and as a husband started to disappear every day as I put myself into a conscious place to focus on my children and my wife. This looks like the following. You have half a point every single day for your partner. You can send a video, you can send an audio, you can send a picture, you can write a text, but it has to express love, honor, and appreciation for something you saw them do or who they are as of yesterday or in the last week. Don't talk about shit. Hey, I love, honor, and appreciate you. Like 22 years ago, that one time when you stopped and got me In-N-Out burger. Might not work out for you. You need something recent and relevant to their life and to your life. This can be done super simple. When you do it in the morning, you get half a point. Next piece with this, posterity, your kids. I have 2 little girls, and I'm going to say it right now because we're going to the doctor on Monday, and my wife is pregnant with our 4th. Which is good news because my wife was sending me all these messages on blog posts about men over 40 who have low sperm count because I wasn't getting it done for a few months. I was like, well, I don't know if I'm pull this off. And we did it. And inside of that, this is a sign to me. Because this woman wants to have a baby with me. And it started years ago with daily deposits. My son calls me up. He's in here in this audience. Where's he at? Parker, where are you at? Run up here, bro. Come on. So this young man right here, almost 19, wants nothing to do with me, and I understand. And staying ruthless with the core 4 every single day, and message him even when he doesn't want to hear from me, and staying up in his life, gives me the phone call a couple months ago and decides to leave school, stop playing football. He says, I want to come live with you. My wife wants to get pregnant. And my son wants to move in with me. And I'm like, fuck, has this game worked or has it worked? And people are like, Garrett, why can you lead this? I say, because I live this shit. I live it every day. I appreciate the ring, guys. That was amazing. I love it. And the ring pales in comparison to the game that I play every day and the impact that I get to make. And this young man is back in my life. And we get to figure out who we are as a father and son at 18, almost 19, and at 41, almost 42. And it might be late, but goddamn it, it's happening. So my young girls, I put sticky notes. Little tiny sticky notes, and I just put the sticky notes on their doors. I used to do it to my 11-year-old with her cell phone, but she lost her mind with her cell phone, and I threw it in the swimming pool. So now I got to go back to sticky notes, and she's not getting her phone back for a while. Some of you are like, good job. Well, there's a lot of issues going on in 5th grade, stuff that we were not even creative enough in college to have figured out. So it's super simple. When I send a text to my wife, I get half a point. When I do something with my kids, I get half a point for a total of 1 point, which takes me to 3. Let's go to our finale. This one's gonna be easy. Business. Every single day, you're gonna do something. Super simple. You're gonna discover some shit. Let me tell you the books that you're gonna read and discover some shit. Oh, what should I study, Garrett? What should I study every day, Garrett? I don't know. Could you give me a book recommendation of 47 more audiobooks that I can go fucking consume? 42 new podcasts that I can listen to? No! Study these like your life depends on it. Like your life depends on it. And if you're a guy, go ahead and flip this one in too. Here's the thing about this. My wife became a marketer and a businesswoman because of this. She was a hairstylist. I accepted her award for her last night. My wife by herself, people think I built her shit, I did not. My wife just did under 2 million last year and has started reading this book in Cancun. You remember when I texted you this? My wife does not read. She'd read 50 Shades of Grey and then she read Russell. So I'm like, all right. And here's what I will tell you. Reading both of those books has significantly improved my life. Study these. Like block all the rest of it out. Block all the noise out. Wake up every morning, 15, 20 minutes. You set your alarm on your phone. When it goes off, you're done. You read until you get revelation on some cool shit Russell said that you could implement. Then you shut the book and you're done for the day. You don't try to read the whole book. You read until you get something that pops out at you, then you stop. Even if it takes you a year to read it, when you're done reading it, you will know it. And when you know it, you will do it. Then what you do next, you share it with somebody else. You get a half a point for discovering some stuff, and then you get a half a point for declaring it to someone else. This means going on social media, or going to a friend, or going to a business partner, and sharing what you just got. How many of you, show of hands, have gotten at least one nugget that you believe is life-altering for you so far being here at Funnel Hacking Live 2018? Amazing. Now turn to the person next to you and share what that shit was. Go. It's that easy. You learn some stuff, discover, half a point. Then you declare it and you share what you learn with somebody else, half a point. If you do both of those things in business, you get 1 point. So it's super simple. Every day we're trying to get to 4. Every day we're trying to get to 4. We get to 4, we get in power. The phrase you use in Warrior is, hit my 4 before I hit the door to go to war. This is not a game of guessing anymore. We have evidence in 10,000 plus people's lives that living this every single day becomes an addiction. And that addiction leads to the power you need to do the things you need to do to get the result that you want. Power, production, and profit. Every day it looks like this for me. It shows up and I'll start out a possible 28 points all week long. I get my body point. I get my being point. I get my balance point. I get my business point. And bam, my blue man's on fire. Once I'm weaponized, my mind, my heart, my body, and my focus, then I create. Most of you, your biggest problem is you're trying to produce, but you're out of one thing. And if you don't get it, nothing will change, and that is power. It's the only thing that matters. Russell has given you, and Todd have given you, everything you need to be successful here. I'm going to have you consider that if you took an hour of power every morning for yourself, and you connected with your body, and you connected with being, and you connected with balance, and you connected with business, that the visions that you've seen in your heart will come to pass. It's an honor for me to be here in this place and on this stage. It's the only place I go every year to share, and I'm grateful they keep having me come back. Because this organization and this software changed my life. Because men were willing to bleed for a voice that they felt inside to build the tools and the systems and the knowledge base to let me share the thing I needed. Many of you are so wrapped up in trying to recreate shit that you're missing the movement and the message that you've been called to share. My son is fruit of this. My family is the reason. I'm not driven by the money. I'm driven by the calling. And every day I got to wake up and choose my calling. And every day God's asking you one simple thing. Listen to me. Just listen. And then go and do. Stand up, Parker. I don't know if this one works. Maybe it does. Share with them in 30 seconds or less. Why are you here? Why do you even choose to come into this game with me? And you look at them, not at me.
So this started a couple months ago. I was in a bad place. I was in university and I had no clue what I wanted to do, or if what I was doing was what I wanted to do for myself. My grades were struggling. I was smoking all the time. And I felt no purpose in anything that I was doing. But every night I would go onto YouTube or I'd go online and I'd find videos of Garret, but like old Garret, of when he was just on the beach by himself, and just random videos that he had posted. And then one night it all clicked for me and I was like, I don't want to be here. And that was hard for me to do because I've been told my whole life stories of what it is that I should be doing, and I never really had my own opinion on what it is that I wanted. And I never was clear on what it was that I wanted. And so I had called Garret and I was like, listen, I don't know what the hell I want to do, but I don't want to be here because I'm headed down the wrong path and I need to get out, and I don't have the mental strength or the physical strength to get myself out of it. And so he told me, okay, I have a flight booked for you on Sunday. You'll be out in California with me and you can work with the team. And ever since I've been working with the team, I've learned more in the last week and a half just being a part of the team and working for Warrior than I did in the 8 months I was at university.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just about you. Every day that you choose to wake up and not be in power, every day you choose to not wake up and deploy and produce what you know you must, people's lives are on the line. In the beginning, I thought it was God calling me to save me. And then I didn't realize that what I was being called to do was to liberate millions. But that starts with me, and it starts with you. And there is a wake and a generation coming behind us that is lost and confused. And their parents, as an answer, have chosen sedation as the path to managing that chaos. We have a choice and we have an opportunity. And it starts every single morning with a choice to connect and a choice to put yourself in power. And if you'll choose it, you'll choose that calling and you'll choose that power. The game that you feel inside your heart will happen. I'm thankful to Russell and to Todd for putting this on, and for Dave, for the whole team putting this event on and bringing you here. I was here in the very beginning, 3 months into the software, and most of you were not here. If every single one of you are not fucking on this stage and they've got to deal with the fact they got to deliver 3,500 goddamn gold CD records, this will be because you chose to reject your calling. Because there is a divine power behind all of us that is calling this thing forward. And it's bigger than me, and it's bigger than you. And you can choose it, or you'll be replaced by someone who will. And inside of that place, the only thing that qualifies you is your decision to lead. My son made that choice because I made that choice. I was able to make that choice because Russell and Todd made that choice. And there are rooms like this waiting for you if you will make that choice. Thank you. Thank you.